Welcome back to another fun episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on today's episode, we are talking about one of the major mental faculties, which is imagination. Yes, we need to imagine what our futures and what our lives look like before they can actually manifest. So you have to have such a vivid, clear imagination to be able to create the life you actually want. When we're kids, imagination came so natural to us. We had imaginary friends, we were able to create imaginary scenarios. Remember playtime with your toys, you would have imaginary conversations, and this just was a natural part of our being. And as we grow up and more gets pounded into our brains thinking this is what we have to do, this is what we should do, this is we kind of lose that imagination. And when we sit there and go, what do we want to manifest? What do we really want? You'll make a list and you'll do these things, but are you really imagining what that would look like? Imagining what you would look like, imagining what your home and everything around you is. See, when we're not clear on what it is we want, it's very hard for the universe and God to deliver to us that which we desire. We don't attract what we are, we or what we want, pardon me, we attract what we are, that vibrational piece. So the subconscious mind, which can be programmed using your imagination, then creates the vibration in the body, and that is who you are, and you attract what you're in harmony with. So when you use your imagination and you are so clear, let's take something as simple as maybe you want to manifest a new job. So instead of sitting here saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this job, I want you to really get clear. What is that job? What are you doing in that job? What are the hours like at that job? Are you working from home? Are you going to an office? Are you working for yourself? What is it that you're doing? How do you show up to a networking event now that you're in this new position? That is the absolute imagination. The smell of the coffee in the kitchen could be something that you use to help really bring it to life. You have to paint this picture almost like you are watching your perfect scenario in a movie theater on a big screen. Your dream, your manifestation needs to play out and be so vivid. The taste, the smells, the sounds, the commute, everything it is, right? I remember when my mentor, Bob Proctor, said, if you're trying to manifest a romantic partner, make room for that person in your life. Imagine them sleeping next to you in your bed. Don't wait for it to come along. You need to be in harmony with what you actually want to attract. And that is where imagination is one of the primary faculties. And I'll continue talking about more, mental faculties on this podcast as I do solos in between, which is going to be something that I like to do because I like to get on here. As I've been coaching for myself, Proctor Gallagher, and some other corporations, there is just so much information I want to be able to share with you guys to make your lives happier, healthier, and wealthier. So I want to encourage everyone to take a piece of paper. You can pause this podcast episode if you're driving and come back to it, or you can listen to it and then re-listen to it. So I want you to take a piece of paper, and at the very top of the paper, you are going to write my life. Below, you're going to write what it is you're manifesting in the present tense. Okay. Romantic partner, new job, new house, whatever it is. And it can be multiple things. And then you really, really want to sit for 5 minutes and visualize what that looks like. You can then write down the notes. What car are you driving? What does it smell like? Just to help you keep that picture. The stronger your imagination is around what you're trying to manifest, the quicker it's going to come to pass because it starts to create a vibration. Because again, we don't get what we want, we get who we are. And who we are is the level of frequency that we are vibrating at. So, and another good exercise is like I have nieces, they're getting a little bit older, but I look back and I have friends that have a lot of babies. And I really, if you're even at a park or you have young kids or you're around young kids, watch how they play. Just take in the imagination, the just in the moment, the present tense, how they can paint the scenario. You need to take yourself back to that to really manifest and imagine. I do love the imagination, and I like it because I feel as grown adults, we don't use it enough. We look at what is actually fact and what we can see physically in our 3D, and then that's proof. So a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this myself, you want to manifest more money, and then all of a sudden you look at your bank account and it's not reflecting the amount you want. That's where the imagination comes in. Okay. You imagine logging into that bank account and seeing the balance you want. You feel what it's like. Don't go checking that balance. Do not do that. Don't spend more than you have. Be aware of what's there, but really imagine what it is that you want. So I definitely I made like so many notes on this because I just love um this topic. But you know, you can use imagination for so many things. You can, I mean, the mind is so powerful. The mind can heal you, the mind can kill you, the mind can make you sick, the mind can make you healthy. I recently was listening to a girl, she popped up on my social media. I'll put it in the notes if I can find her name, but she manifested a younger looking face. Now, it takes a lot to get a younger looking face, right? You've got to make sure you're taking the right supplements, you got to get the lasers, Botox, whatever you're doing to have a young face. And she just said, you know what? I'm going to imagine myself with perfect skin and health and healing and just the peace of mind that I have. And she actually ended up looking younger. Not saying that's going to work for everybody, but you would be amazed at what can happen. So if you're looking to reinvent yourself and you want to have what's called a glow up, we are like we're basically we are in the last quarter of the year. And if you want the ultimate end of year glow up, start reinventing yourself. Write down who it is you want to become by 2025. And then imagine what that person does. And then put on your best acting. You now get to play the dream role. And that role is stepping into your dream life where you have everything you want, but you can't get that until you're in harmony with it. And the only way to get into harmony with it is to be so clear on that picture in your imagination that you can't help but attract it. Our subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's fake. So the clearer we get with this visualization and this imagination of exactly what it is we want to manifest, the faster it comes. So I always tell people if you cannot create it in the 5D imagination, it will not show up in the 3D. It has to become an imagined thought, right? When a chair, a car, anything was first created, it first started in the imagination. It started as a thought and then it manifested into what it is. That is how your new life and reinventing yourself needs to be. You are imagining that new life getting crystal clear. I'm talking smell, everything I've said. And I'm saying it again because it has to be so crystal clear. You can't, it drives me crazy when people are just vague because if I can't figure out how to help you, how the heck can the universe and God figure out how to help you? So when you are setting your goal, you can't just sit here and say, well, I want to be financially free. Okay, well, what does that look like? What is that number? How are you spending your money? How are you investing your money? Where are you living? What are you wearing? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of birthday presents are you getting, or Christmas presents, or holiday presents are you getting your people? The more specific you can be to feel the feeling of actually having that life, the quicker it is going to come. So I want to challenge every single person. Just take one thing. I told you about that exercise, get clear on what you want, but just take one thing. You could do a cup of coffee, you could do a free lunch, you could do a date, you could, whatever it is, and just really, really imagine it and just have fun with this. Take the pressure off. But the key here, too, is one of the main laws, which is the law of detachment. So once you really imagine it and you believe it to be true, and you are so in tune with this, you then have to let it go. Right? Just like ordering something at a restaurant, you wouldn't sit there and wonder, where's the food? Where's the food? Did the food get there? Is the food coming? Is it going to come? No. You place the order and you have confidence that this is going to show up. Same with an Amazon. I don't go around and tracking my packages all the time. I just know I put it in on Amazon, I shut my computer, and I go about my day. I want you to become that with your thoughts. So your imagination is key, especially that 5 minutes before you go to sleep. I've talked to this about this numerous times because it's so important. That is not the time to reminisce on what went wrong for the day. That is not the time to reminisce on all the stuff you have to do for the next week and tomorrow. That is the time to step into your imagination and live the last 5 minutes of your day. Live your life in the 5D as if you want it to be. And that, my friends, is going to create the magic. So I hope you guys enjoy these solo, shorter podcast episodes. We're going to have guests coming in between, obviously, to keep adding fun, spark, and value. But I do feel that along with, my weekly newsletter that I have coming out, that's like a Monday motivation. Go to nexttomadison.com if you're not on that, so you can sign up for our mailing list. There's a great Monday morning email that comes out. So I wanted to do something that was kind of substitute along or to, go with it, so to say, just to give you that extra oomph to get you through the day. So I want you all to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. That is the goal of the Next to Madison podcast. And if you guys could all do me a favor and just comment, like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, that would be amazing, because the more people we reach, the more people we can impact to make the world a better place. So thank you all for tuning in to another amazing episode of Next to Madison, where we're all about the imagination. So, what are you imagining for your future? We'll see you next time to find out who's next. Bye.